How does Jesus Christ feel when we sin? I've had some thoughts about that in the past, but what I learned this week turned my idea of what I thought Jesus felt about sin on its head. My name is Jess Howe, and this is the Because He Remembers Me podcast. We were sitting in church, and my boys were being so rowdy. And I started humming to myself, reverence is love. And which must have been the Spirit speaking to me, because every single talk that time was about reverence. And one of the speakers even read the words to that song. The only problem was my boys were being anything but reverent. And I think it prepared me a little bit, because I was able to think, well, if reverence is love, then I can show love for Heavenly Father and for Jesus Christ by showing love to my boys, even when they're not acting the way that I would prefer them to act. But they were pushing real hard that Sunday, and I felt like I was failing in teaching them anything, like it wasn't getting through. And when one of my kids bolted for the door just as we were starting to say the closing prayers, it got to be a little bit much. I'm not gonna lie, I teared up a little bit. It was exhausting and frustrating to have them be so irreverent when I was trying so hard to be reverent. And I went to class afterwards, just thinking about how frustrated I was, how I felt like I had no control whatsoever. And I don't even know what the lesson was about. I am not sure what the video that was shown was actually supposed to be about. But the words of I am a child of God were playing in this video. And as I sat and listened to the music, I realized something, that it probably does make Jesus a little bit sad when we sin. However, I think that that's probably not his overriding emotion. I think he feels compassion. I think he feels understanding. But most of all, I think he feels confidence in us that we can try again, that we can overcome with his power. He feels hope. I think he feels perspective, knowing that, hey, maybe some of these sins will not bring us to a better understanding of him. Not saying that you should sin in order to grow closer to Jesus Christ, because it doesn't work that way. But how would my perspective, how would my life change if that was the way that I viewed things when my kids were being disobedient, when my kids were learning tough lessons? How would they respond? How would they be able to have a more positive outlook, be more inspired if my response to them when they were making mistakes and repeatedly is, it's okay. I know you can do it. I know that Jesus Christ has suffered for you. I mean, that's a little heavy every time, but to have that attitude of, I know you can overcome this. I know that you're a good person. I know that you have good intentions. I forgive you. Let's move on. We don't have to stay here. We don't have to stay in that place. I felt the Lord's hand in my life, and this time it was through a changed perspective. How does the Lord really feel when we sin? Trust, belief, encouragement, compassion. It doesn't have to be dark. It doesn't have to be shameful, because he lived it and he understands. He is our advocate with the Father. I hope you felt his hand in your life today. I know that as we seek him diligently, we shall find him. So until next time, happy seeking.